Hey, Mr. Brian, I just want to say thank you for posting my video and helping me. Thank you so much.
This was my last video, in case you missed it, showing Special Olympian Shawn getting followed by a police officer and then being violently arrested while just trying to walk home from his favorite bar where he sings karaoke.
Yeah, kind of weird that you're in the parking lot this late at night. You don't want to talk? What are you doing out here, man?
My part's right here. That's why I'm crossing.
There's not a crosswalk right there.
Other people do it.
Okay, doesn't mean that you can. Okay, don't go anywhere. Let me see your ID. Okay, put your hands behind your back then. I'm telling you. Put your hands behind your back.
I'm telling you,
And once again, one of my videos makes the local news where it happened, and this one is very deserving.
A 2 News exclusive tonight. The man seen in a now viral video on YouTube is speaking out after he was thrown to the ground and handcuffed by a Clearfield police officer. 2 News has learned he's a Special Olympic athlete.
The fantastic local news reporter there went to the bar and interviewed not only Shawn, but also people in the bar, including the bartender. Everybody loves this guy.
We were really, really angry. He comes in here, he's everybody's friend.
I just think it's my second home because I've been coming here for years.
So now the cops have released a statement. They've responded to the video. They've acknowledged that they screwed up, but they refuse to take any accountability. This fight isn't over. I'll tell you why. You know, when police step over the line and violate your rights, what makes it so egregious is the imbalance of power. You simply can't do anything to stop it at that moment. Just like that, you're up against a giant that you cannot fight alone. That's exactly what happened to a man in Florida who broke his back and became paralyzed in 2021. Instead of the government, he found himself fighting his own insurance company, who only offered him $20,000. But this man did not settle for only $20,000 for his injury. Instead, he called today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, and they were able to help him win over $120 million. The reason I like Morgan & Morgan is that they fight for their clients just like I do. As the nation's biggest personal injury law firm, they have the firepower to take on insurance companies and win. The best part is that you don't pay anything unless you win your case. If you or someone you know has been injured and needs help, you can start your claim now at forthepeople.com/thecivilrightslawyer, found in the description, and filling out this simple form, or by scanning the QR code on the screen from your phone's camera. Now let's get back to the video. I'll briefly recap the events from the first video. The body cam footage is pretty lengthy in the first video, and I will link that below so that you can watch that if you haven't seen it. But I'll summarize here what happened, and then I'll get into the response provided by the police department. So, Shawn, again, a longtime Special Olympics medalist. His favorite thing to do is to go to this bar within walking distance of his apartment where he lives on his own. He goes to this bar and he loves to sing karaoke, and everybody in this bar apparently loves him. He seems like a really sweet guy. At least once before, he had been harassed by the Clearfield Police Department while walking home from this bar. On this particular evening, he's walking home, which takes him through, it looks like a series of parking lots and sidewalks, and then ultimately the parking lot for his own apartment complex. As he's doing this, he notices that this police car is beginning to follow him, and he continues to follow him. It's not like he has any other way to get home. He's doing what he has to do. So this police car is following him. The cop at one point gets out of his car and follows him on foot. Clearly scared, Shawn, like as best as he can, starts running away or walking very quickly. The cop gets back in his car and follows him some more. I mean, how bizarre is this? So he's following him some more, and he pulls up next to him and he starts talking to him.
Why are you running?
Yeah, following.
Yeah, kind of weird that you're in the parking lot this late at night.
I'm not doing anything. Just leave me alone.
Okay. Why are you running though?
Yeah, following me. Yeah,
Fed up with what?
no.
You don't want to talk?
No.
How come?
Quit following me. Go away.
He's trying to engage with him, but Shawn doesn't want anything to do with him because of what had happened before and what was already taking place. He just wanted to be left alone, which he told to the officer. He continues to walk towards his house. That is when the police officer decided to use his mistaken belief about Utah's jaywalking statute to claim to Shawn that he had just violated Utah law by allegedly jaywalking, when he had not, for reasons I explained in the first video. At that point, he forcibly detains Shawn and confronts him, accusing him of having committed a crime. He demands Shawn's ID. Again, he wasn't driving, he was walking. He doesn't ask Shawn who he is. He doesn't really ask Shawn any other questions.
Okay, you have to stop now. Okay, can't cross the road like that. What are you doing out here, man?
My part's right here. That's why I'm crossing.
There's not a crosswalk right there.
Other people do it.
Okay, doesn't mean that you can.
They don't get in trouble, so...
Okay, well, I saw you crossing the street like that. You have your ID on you?
Yeah.
Where, can I see it?
No, so I'm not doing anything.
Well, I just told you that you crossed the road like that, no crosswalk. It's breaking a crime. So I have a legal right to identify you now. So let me see your ID.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Well, no,
So-
that's only on the freeway.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
There's no crosswalks on a freeway. Okay? So we can keep doing this. You can give me your ID, or I can put you in handcuffs, and then I can figure out your identification that way. So what is it going to be?
I didn't do anything. I was just walking home. You were following me.
Yeah.
That's why I was walking fast.
Okay.
He just demands ID, and then he threatens violence, basically. And ultimately, that's what he does. He gets violent with Shawn. He physically grabs a hold of him. He sweeps his legs, and he takes him down to the ground, violent enough so that it basically scratched the skin off of his elbow, and he's bleeding.
So what is it going to be?
Crime. I haven't done any crime.
No?
No.
Okay, put your hands behind your back then. Okay.
I'm telling you.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm telling you, I haven't done nothing. I haven't done nothing.
Give me your hands.
Ow.
Shawn is placed in handcuffs. He's put in the rear of the police car, and then the whole mess is sorted out. After the supervisor arrives, everybody can see that this officer, Officer Frato, had screwed up.
Jesus Christ. Does he need medical attention?
He has a scuff on his elbow. I don't know what else he has, but I've already asked him, and he's like, I haven't done anything. So I tried asking him.
After the video went up, it spread pretty quickly in Utah. Several of the TV news outlets picked it up and ran with the story.
That man's name is Shawn. He was leaving the Summit Lounge on July 25th, and that's when a police officer stopped him on his walk home and kept questioning him.
I come to this bar, have fun, do karaoke and dance.
This is Shawn Nicholas. He says he's a Special Olympics athlete.
Basketball, bowling, softball. I just think it's my second home because I've been coming here for years.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm telling you.
The video now gained over 300,000 views on YouTube. What was your reaction?
Am I allowed to cuss? We were really, really angry. He comes in here, he's everybody's friend.
Does this make you lose faith in the police department?
Absolutely. They released a statement saying that the officer was well within his rights for the use of force that he did, and I think it's obvious that that wasn't the case.
Moving forward, Shawn wants to see one thing.
I just want them to leave me alone. Let me walk through that area I was walking through.
I called police for an interview, and they did not respond. In Layton, Kristen McPeak, KUTV2 News.
And I did one interview with the same reporter who interviewed Shawn. As usually happens, the police department responded, and this is what they said. The Clearfield City Police Department said in part that the incident occurred in July and has already been reviewed and internally addressed in the months since. The police department agreed that the officer mistakenly applied the Utah jaywalking statute and said that he has since received additional training on lawfully approaching people and when to request identification. Authorities also conceded that the officer did not recognize the potential for disability-related behavior, instead interpreting the male's actions as intoxication or unusual conduct. However, the department determined that the officer's use of force was justified as the man refused to stop, resisted arrest, and was found in an area with triggered business alarms and a history of criminal activity. Throughout an officer's career, there are numerous opportunities for growth, said Chief Kelly Bennett. It is my expectation that this incident, like so many others our officers have while serving our community, will allow for an opportunity to grow and strengthen the professional standards of this department. The chief also said that the situation could have been resolved differently, and we extend our sympathies to those affected. We remain committed to continuous improvement through additional training in all facets of police work. Adjustments to training, behavior, and evaluations are made promptly following the careful review of cases or of concerning conduct captured on body-worn cameras and other recording devices. So let me ask this question. If they admit that the officer was mistaken about Utah's jaywalking statute and had to receive additional training on lawfully approaching people and when he's allowed to request identification, how can you then afterwards say, but this violent use of force was justified? Because what you're admitting is that there was no legal right for Shawn to have been forcibly detained and seized by Officer Fratto in the first place. So what you're really saying is, yeah, it never should have happened, but since it did, we don't think that he used excessive force. But the law says where there's no force that's justified because there's no reasonable suspicion to detain the person, there's no level of force that is reasonable. No level of force, no amount of force is reasonable. So if you mean what you say, that Shawn never should have been seized and detained in the first place, then you also have to conclude that there should have been zero violence used against Shawn at all. Any amount of violence is excessive. This is couched as an opportunity for growth for the officer involved, for Officer Fratto. I mean, under these circumstances, who cares about Fratto's career? Who cares about his numerous opportunities for growth? Why don't you just delete all the fluff in your statement and just make it very simple? Like something like, we apologize to Shawn Nicholas. This never should have happened. We violated his constitutional rights, and we are determined to make whatever changes are necessary to ensure that this never happens again. All they had to include was an apology. While they hint that there was some discipline behind the scenes, they don't say what that is. Clearly, Fratto is still there. Is that accountability, or is he just sort of laughing in the locker room about this? But it's not over. It's still spreading across multiple media markets. They still haven't gotten the message. If you want to get real accountability, don't let up. Keep on them. Keep on the media. They need to apologize to Shawn. And really, they should compensate him in some way. So I'll continue to follow this, and you can follow along with me by subscribing here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at JohnBryanESQ, also called The Civil Rights Lawyer there. Remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.